Yo, what's up? This is gonna probably be the most stupid, dumb, like, guitar tutorial for beginners by a beginner. So if you don't know what you're doing, I'm gonna focus on the dumbest, like, let's just get into it, okay? Also, I am working on, like, recording stuff. It's all through OBS, and I can't really, like, fix anything in post, so I have like a few different angles. Got the guitar here. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I could film it separately and then like overlay it in post, but I am not doing all that. So what I'm gonna do, so let's switch to this, right? I can show you like the first thing. Play an E minor. It's literally just two fingers right there. Don't worry about the music theory, nothing. Don't worry about like cool strumming patterns or anything. Nothing like that. Literally just, you can use your finger. I'm using my finger right now. If I use a pick, that's it, right? The easiest chord transition that I started with, E, so that's E minor, and then that's A minor. If you can see that my thumb is up here, it's touching that string, so that's like muting it. And then I'm just starting from the second string anyways, so that top string, the big one, it's not doing anything. That, I think that's A minor. This, I'm taking my thumb off. Your thumb should be like kind of straight up and down, by the way. Like a lot of people play like that when they're beginners, and that makes it harder to stretch to where you need to be. So yeah, start like this. So that's playing all the strings, every one of them. And then as long as you're touching that, you don't have to be super careful about not playing that top string. It doesn't really make noise anyways, right? And so there's a whole bunch of, those are like probably some of the easiest chords. Don't worry about those yet. I'm gonna just show you what I think is the easiest way. So let's do that setup, and then I'll switch over to my DAW. I'm starting at 90 BPM because that's like pretty slow. You might even want to start slower than that. Literally the first thing you want to do, see, I already messed up. That's fine. You just try again. So the first thing you want to do, and notice I'm changing positions. Like take your time changing positions. Play the chord. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can start as soon as you play the chord. Like take your time getting it right. And then another thing to like consider, kind of important, like just make sure your fingers, instead of being like that, like make sure it's as up and down, like perpendicular, I guess, to the fretboard as you can get it. That takes practice. It, like, let me stop that for now. That takes practice. It's hard at first, and like it hurts at first. Like you're jamming your fingers into these pieces of metal, and that's not comfortable. It's not going to be. Don't worry about bar chords yet. Don't worry about strumming patterns or anything. You can literally just like that. I think is the easiest possible way to start. And then also the next best thing you can do, I think, and start this early, like it's going to be challenging, but start early, is what people call the spider walk. And eventually that translates to playing scales. But for now, like when you're playing scales and stuff, you have to like skip notes and stuff, and you have to know which ones to play. Don't worry about that yet. This one, you're just playing every note, and it helps because your pinky is going to be like weak at first. It helps to start practicing earlier with that, and then it's going to be tough, but it later on it helps. So literally, like with the metronome. And you want to start even slower than this. Like, start at like 50 BPM, right? Right? You're going so slow. And also something to consider as I'm doing this, can I get this camera to show what I'm doing here? I'm going up and down. So down, up, down, up, down, up. And I think that's like later on, it's going to help with doing, I don't know, fancy shit, I guess. If you want to sound cool and you want to start skipping steps, I think that's called the A minor pentatonic. I don't know. It's cool and then like it sounds good. I don't know. It sounds cool with the other chords you can do. Like literally, you're a beginner, right? Literally, don't even worry about that. Like, just do that. It's that like, don't worry about anything else. It's just gonna confuse you for now. Literally. You should be doing it way slower than that, by the way. And it's a really good idea to start with a metronome early too, because having that sense of rhythm, even if you have a good sense of rhythm, it helps to like get that sense of rhythm into your hands. I don't know how to describe it exactly. The muscle memory, I don't know, you learn, you practice, but yeah, start really slow. There are other chords that I am not good at. That's G, and once you start doing bar chords, I actually would rather play a G this way. But I'm not very good at switching between bar chords and open chords, and you should not be worried about that yet. I think this, that's a D major, and then that's a D minor, that's a C, that's an A minor, that's an A major, I think that's an E major, and an E minor. There's other stuff. You can accidentally play something wrong and it's still like, I think that's called an A diminished. I don't know. Oh, that's the other thing you can practice pretty early and you won't be good at is like hammer-ons. You're literally just, you play a note by bonking the string, kind of like, and bends are tricky. That comes with practice. Slides sound cool as fuck and they're really easy. Definitely, I would actually say that's something you can probably start pretty early and then like it's fine. Oh, power chords are really easy. So I'm pressing on this, just the top string, The rest of my fingers are just touching the other strings. So, right? You can't, it's not playing anything. These two, that's the same shape as the E chord. So the E chord, if you only play those two and then you stop everything else and then let the top string go, that's also the same thing as a power chord. There's music theory stuff. Power chord just means it sounds cool. That's all it means. So yeah, playing this top string, muting everything else, and then these two are the same shape as an E, and it's... And I'm also, with my picking hand, I'm only really playing those top three strings anyways. So like I'm pulling away. Oh, that's the other hand thing. When you're holding the pick, so it's like parallel with your thumb and then perpendicular to this finger. And then you're probably, don't be scared to like hold it pretty hard. You want it to wiggle a little bit. See how that kind of wiggles? But if it wiggles too much, then you just drop it, and then it's gone. The pick you use kind of matters. Personally, I hate this pick. Oh, this one's worse. I don't know. It just sounds bad. Doesn't that sound weird? And then something like this. This is probably my favorite pick. Right? And actually what I'm doing up here is, once you start doing bar chords, it's one of the easier ways. It's literally the same shape. So what I'm doing over here, right? A minor. So that's this one. And then this one. And then these are on the same fret. It's like that, right? So that's probably one of the two easiest chords. And then this is the other E minor. And then once you start doing bar chords, right? I don't know what note that is. I'm just making shit up. But you do the same shape. But since you've been practicing using your pinky, you have a little bit more strength here. So that's the same shape as the A minor. But you're pushing down in here. And then remember how I talks about like just touching the string so it doesn't just touching the string so it doesn't play. So that top string, it's not playing. Same as with the original A minor. So this is what's, I think it's called like an A shape. So this is tricky. You probably can't do it yet, but it's like one of the next things you're doing. I'm actually gonna switch to this pick. It's just a little gentler. This is the same shape as the E minor. You can move up here, so you're playing all those notes, except these ones are playing up here anyways. And usually what happens when you're not experienced is you're just not pressing with your finger like straight enough. That's what happened to me, at least. Those strings are being muted because you're just touching them, you're not pressing them down. If you press down too hard, it just hurts and it like messes it up too. But like that, I think, is the easiest two chords to switch between and kind of a good starting point. That, I think, is kind of the most basic fundamental. Don't worry about strumming patterns. Do worry about practice with the metronome. You want to kind of learn to have a sense of rhythm, right? Even if it's just one note. Dun, 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 right? Don't worry about people are down, up, down, down, up, down. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Just you just play the note, right? A and E, probably the easiest chords to switch between. There's a bunch of other relatively easy chords. Look them up. A and E are the easiest. Bar chords, those are hard, really hard. It will be hard to, it takes some strength, right? Oh, and that spider walk thing. So, da, 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 right? Go really slow. Da, 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 da. Play with the metronome and focus on playing it in time, like I just mentioned. So, yeah, metronome, A and E, those are really easy. Don't even think about bar chords yet. I talked about those. That's next. Like the next thing is bar chords. Before that, spider walk. The spider walk helps you get your pinky good. Actually helps get all your fingers stronger. Maybe even do that before anything. I don't know. Do it all kind of at once. Like you have a few minutes of practice, right? What do? What do I do? So first, usually to warm up, right? That's the first thing I do. Literally just I don't actually know if you're supposed to take off the other finger, like the last finger you used. I don't know if it matters, or if you're supposed to keep them all on. Maybe you can do both. I don't know. And then usually like the first thing I'll play is like D, A, D, A, C, E. I don't know. It's just easy. Ew. Yeah, sometimes you mess up. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to be like cool and not look at the fretboard. You are going to have to look at the fretboard at first. As you build muscle memory, it gets better. It's all muscle memory. Keep doing it. Someone's laughing out there. I think you can probably hear that. Bar chords are irrelevant. They're for stupid magic wizards. So you have a couple minutes of practice. You do that. Play some basic chords. Like, don't worry about that. Just do that. Honestly, you're a beginner. Just do that. After that, watch some YouTube videos. And if you're watching YouTube videos on like how to do stuff, have your guitar with you, right? Because you're wasting that time anyways. Have your guitar with you. They tell you to do something. Try it out. Like, you might not be good at it. Try it. That, I think, is going to be all for today's video. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button and buy my course. Thanks for watching, I guess.